little bit more.
All right, everybody, thank you for joining us. We are now in Belinsig, otherwise commonly referred to as Sherrie'sville. It is now noon in the capital, here for the debates, and by the flip of a coin, we have decided that Mr. Walker will begin with his opening statement. So, go ahead and take the stand.
Hello, my name is Ryan Walker, and I am running for your ambassador under the Diplomatist Party. I have multiple stances on multiple topics: immigration, strengthening the border, strengthening and expanding our military, and most importantly, combating the spread of the coronavirus as it grows as a pandemic. Also, introducing clean energy to Riloian and decreasing the use of fossil fuels, which are dangerous to our environment and our people. I hope that over the course of this debate, you will side with me and you will vote for me when it comes to the elections. Now, I will introduce my fellow opponent, Jack Morris.
Jack Ryan Morris. Hello, I am Jack Ryan Morris, and I am running to be the next ambassador of Riloian under the Androtarian Party. Now, why would you want to vote for me, you might ask? Well, as a strong believing Androtarian, one of the first things I will do as the ambassador is to set up a parliament and then sign a bill enacting a Androtarian state, giving power to the people, holding free elections, just increasing power to the people, increasing the say you have and the say the people have in the government, decreasing the power of the ambassador to make this country more democratic, less absolute. And one of my other goals is to set up a judicial branch. So really, even though Riloian has been a country for over 10 years now, they still only have pretty much an executive branch and a half a legislative branch. As ambassador, I do want to expand the government and, like I said, give more power to the people and create a more democratic and fair society. Alright, so again, with the flip of the coin, Mr. Walker will go first, and the first topic is our fossil fuels essential to running this country.
We have proven time and time again that the future is clean and green. We have proven time and time again that fossil fuels are in no way beneficial to the country, the environment, or the livelihood of our people. It's obvious. Fossil fuels are not a renewable resource. Not only are fossil fuels a direct contributor to rising global temperatures, pollution, and illness, they are also just not sustainable for a growing future society. They will not last forever. Yes, one day we will run out of fossil fuels. As our population grows and demand for fossil fuels with it, the expanding production of fossil fuels will endanger our environment and also make it a more sought-after resource as the supply of it runs low. However, electricity is renewable. Solar energy is renewable. Wind turbine energy is renewable. Eventually, one way or another, we will have to adapt clean energy. Our society will, one day, just become far too big to meet the demand for fossil fuels. So why not start now? Why not start with clean energy now? We will, in the end, improve the environment, improve the livelihood of our people, and power the country, our cars, our buildings and our homes, our cities, and everything we know with clean and safe energy.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I don't have much of an opening statement, but what a lot of what you said is very true. I do have to agree. But with the question, are fossil fuels essential to the running of this country, I took today into account, the present, not the future, not the past, today. Yes, as of today and for a while, a couple years, maybe even another decade or two, fossil fuels would be very essential to the running of this nation. And yes, I believe that the future is clean energy, alternative fuels, renewable energy. So I feel like we do agree a lot on that. But with starting now, again, I believe we should start now. But as of today, there are too many people who are dependent on them. Some people are stubborn and won't be willing to make the change. But yes, I do believe as the future comes, we do need to invest more into clean energy, renewable energy, alternative fuels. And yes, fossil fuels they're not unlimited. We will run out of them one day. So a lot of what you said is true. I feel like we agree a lot on that. But as of today, they're almost the vast majority, if not everybody in this country, relies on fossil fuels. But as the years come and go, we need to invest more in clean energy, like you said. But like I keep saying, as of today, they are needed as of today, and I feel like it will take some time to make. Especially one statistic I do like to use is I'm going to take Tesla cars as an example. If you have a current car, an average car that runs off fossil fuels that you've only had for a year or two, and it still works, and then you go and just dump that car and go and purchase a Tesla, that is actually worse for the environment than using that car up until it dies.
That's also why it's important to, as soon as possible, seize most production of cars powered by fossil fuels and ramp up the production of electric cars. So then, when fossil fuel powered cars become unusable, then we can quickly transition to electric cars because they will be the large. So we need stronger borders. We need to expand border protection. You cannot have a country without strong and secure borders. Our citizenship process is terrible. People are free to come and go into the nation as they please, and that is just not acceptable. We must do what we can to combat illegal immigration. We must build a strong, secure, and prevalent border. We must have an in-depth screening process for new citizens, and we must make sure that our entire citizenship process is complex and focused solely on the safety of our people. That being said, however, we must also ensure that new citizens coming to the country are able to get a secure job. That is why I will also expand the job market and make more jobs for more Riloians by the means of expanding infrastructure and construction and rebuilding our nation as a whole, along with expanding our military and opening up more military jobs.
Again, I feel like we agree on borders as well, because I was going to take an example, the U.S.-Mexico border. Yes, a lot of people are illegally crossing any borders because one nation, or North and South Korea, one nation that they already could have lived in is just a horrible nation. They want to cross for a better life, which I understand, but it's still illegal. And especially with the U.S.-Mexico border, there are drugs and crime coming in, but a lot of the people coming in illegally through any border is just to have a better life, any closed-off border. So again, I feel like we do need to have kind of strong borders. I don't think we need to go full out, demilitarized zone, strong borders, but I feel like we do need to crack down on crime coming to the border. So I feel like we agree on that. And then with our next topic, would you like to go ahead and take your stance on the military?
Riloia has virtually no military. How can we protect our households, our homeland, the people we love without a military? I ask you, what kind of nation is that to claim to love its people, but have no protective forces to stand behind that claim? We need to expand the military, and we need to expand it now. We need to strengthen our military. I would invest over 1 billion rupees in our military in order to vastly increase the number of jobs and positions in our multiple branches and modernize our technology so that every soldier, every battalion, and branch has up-to-date equipment. When our enemies come knocking on our doors, we need to be able to drive them away. You simply cannot do that without a large and strong military. So, when I'm your ambassador, I will ensure that you never feel the fear of a potential invasion or war on Riloian soil. This nation will be untouchable when I am your ambassador.
Now, my problem with our military is we're a micronation. We have to admit, Riloria is small. We're not on the scale of the United States, Britain, Russia, China. We are a small nation, and in my opinion, micronations don't need militaries because even my home country of Capberg, we have no military. One of Capberg's allied countries, Iconia, doesn't have military. We both don't recognize war at all because if we were a macro nation on the scale of the United States, Britain, China, Russia, yes, we would need a strong military. If I were to become leader of a macro nation, I would invest in a strong military. But micronations don't need that because you're talking about the fear of an invasion. We don't need to fear about that because our macro nation is the United States. If anybody comes to our door with guns, we can dial the 3 numbers, 911 on our telephones, and the United States will be here pronto and take care of them. We don't need to worry about an invasion in a micronation because there's macro nations, there's police forces. The macronation has the military to protect us. It's kind of like the relationship that Palau, Micronesia have come to our front step with just like 4 or 5 people. They have guns, even if they decide to do that. Do you think the U.S. police force can't take care of that? You think we can't call the police in and they'll take care of it?
We still need, and this goes right back to what I said before, we need to strengthen the military, strengthen our country, protect our country, and on top of that, like I mentioned in the last topic, we need to increase the number of jobs for our Riloians. Expanding the military does exactly that.
That's what I'm saying. Alright, do you really think that it's that likely that anybody ever will come to our door? You've lived here for 20 years of your life. Do you think that it's ever likely in the probably 80 more years you have of your life that anybody will come to your front door, come to your home with a gun, any type of gun, any type of gun that's not a toy gun? Do you think that's actually likely that somebody will come to your door saying, I'm here to invade Riloria and attempt to murder you?
You could never rule it out.
But again, alright, then let's take the chance. Somebody comes to our front door with a gun. We're circling back to square one. Pick up the phone, 911, there's somebody at my front door with a gun.
But they won't get here in time to save us when they're right there. That's why we need military to help us right now.
Alright, what are we going to do? Call the military over? Or is everyone in the military going to live right here?
That's why we expand our military.
But no, okay. So if the police won't get here in time, is the military going to get here in time? Or are they just going to live here?
They won't. Well, the U.S. military won't, but we will.
Alright, so is our military going to live here?
This is Riloria, yes. Correct?
So the military will live...
Yes.
Yes, it is. So alright, so where we're gonna keep the military to live? This is literally our home. Where's the military gonna live? I don't get what's funny. It's just...
In sanctioned living areas.
In sanctioned living areas. Our storage room, the bathroom, the linen closet. I mean, we're a micronation.
We have people everywhere. We have citizens that can come from anywhere.
So then, alright, what you're saying is the only viable option, and I'm not putting words in your mouth, I'm saying this is almost what you're saying, is the only viable option is to have the military live here in our own home. So, again, that's why, if we had a military that didn't live here, that's the same problem you said we have with the police. The police, they won't get here in time. The military lives down the street, they're not going to get here in time. Bullets are faster than people. What would you like me to look at? Oh, alright. Well, go ahead with the next point. How would you like to combat the spread of coronavirus?
I believe that in these times of intense turmoil, we must take drastic measures in order to stop the further spread of this horrible pandemic. The first thing I would do as ambassador is order a national shutdown, send out the Royal Guard to those areas hit the hardest by the virus in order to give them food and supplies, and ensure a stimulus package to families and Riloians who find themselves struggling financially in these times. This shutdown would close all non-essential businesses in an effort to curb the spread, as well as limiting outdoor and public gatherings to no more than 2 people. I would also enact a national curfew at 11 p.m. every day. Though these measures may take away from the normal comforts and indulgences that we see in everyday Riloian life, we must also remind ourselves that these measures are only temporary. This may disrupt livelihood, but ultimately, you cannot have a livelihood without life. You cannot have a nation when everyone in that nation is infected, sick, or dying. You cannot have jobs. You cannot have an economy when communities are completely torn apart by this dangerous virus. We must come together in these hard times, practice social distancing, self-quarantine, and self-isolation so that we as a people can stop coronavirus. And when this whole thing is over, we will all come back stronger than ever.
All right. What I have to say about that? Yes, I do believe that coronavirus is getting bad. And like you said, we can't have a nation if everyone's infected. Now, what I believe is, yes, we do need to practice better hygiene, social distancing, and I do believe that some places, how they're doing, again, in the United States, in multiple states, that they need to shut down non-essential businesses. But I think a curfew is too much.
That's the exact reason why Russia and Japan it does not have these large amount of cases, because they put these things in effect immediately. Russia, if you're not following the laws, you can face 5 or more years in prison. And that has kept people, even though it's drastic, it's kept people safe and it's kept people healthy. A national curfew, there's no reason you should be out after 11 p.m. unless you are an emergency.
2 people, 3 people is a large gathering. Me, you, and one of our parents is a large gathering.
If it is, and this is what I've said,
no.
If it is an outdoor or public gathering, I don't care what you do indoors in a private institution. But if it's outdoors, if it's in a public place, absolutely we need to limit it. This is what Italy's doing. This is what so many countries, this is what the UK is doing. They're enacting no more than 2 people outside. In fact, you shouldn't even be outside at all. But if you are, you should not have gatherings of more than 2 people. And if there are, then people will, police will come to make sure that they can break that up.
Well, then answer my question.
And that's what we have to do.
All right.
Because ever since countries have started doing that, they've seen their number of infection starting to plateau and go down.
Well, you're not answering my question. My question was, all right, so you said outdoor public gatherings. If me, you, and our mother is out in the park, that's a large gathering.
Yes.
3 people.
You should not, well, isn't that bad, or anything. It's a case of people's actual lives.
Well, if you say...
We can't put people's lives at stake.
If you stay away from them, you're not going to spread it.
Which is exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's my point.
You stay away from them by going outside as little as you possibly can.
And
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Semi-agree with that. But what I'm saying is you can go outside, just stay away. So if I'll use the park as an example again. If I'm at the park, I see someone at the other side, I should stay away from them. I'm not going to run towards them, go high-five them. I should stay by myself in my own little bubble, or kind of.
That we combat ignorance,
mm-hmm.
and we right now adjust to a newer way of life until this thing passes over, and then we can all come back stronger, smarter, and back to our old lives.
And that's pretty much what I said, combating ignorance. Basic hygiene, basic manners. Don't sneeze on people, and I'm not disagreeing that we do need to change our lifestyles. This is changing our life. And like I said, don't high-five people. We need a social distancing. Small tweaks to our lifestyle, I think, will help this virus just, at least if it's not going to get worse, it's going to slow it down a lot.
Actually, want to wrap this up then? Want to wrap it up?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I'll do my closing statement first, and then you can do yours so you can step off to the side. I really, really do hope that everything I've said today has convinced you to come onto my side and vote for me when it comes to the elections. As your ambassador, I will make sure that you are protected by a strong military, you live in a safe and clean environment, not polluted by fossil fuels, that you do not have to go outside in fear of getting the coronavirus or being infected or dying. And I also believe that you will feel safe about immigration and who we are allowing into this country. Thank you. My name is Ryan Walker. I am part of the Diplomatist Party, and I hope that I can be your ambassador. Please vote for me in the elections and have an amazing day.
I am Jack Ryan Morse, and as ambassador, I will ensure that every man, woman, and child has guaranteed essential rights to life. And like I said in my opening statement, to increase the say that people have in the government as a strong believing Androtarian, to hold democratic elections, decrease the power of the ambassador, increase the size of parliament, create a judicial branch. And yes, I will keep our country safe from fears of coronavirus, war. So this Saturday, please, if you want your essential rights, please vote for Jack Ryan Morse this Saturday. Thank you.